Okay, today we're going to talk about outliers. What outliers are extremely high or low values. So before we do anything else, switch this to stick. It's not tick out, it's stick out. Okay, I think most of you have heard of outliers before. Something that's extremely high, something that's extremely low. Now, to calculate outliers, because what I think is extremely high or extremely low, and what you think are extremely high or extremely low are two different things, we need to find some common ground. So our rule for outliers is any value less than the first quartile minus 1.5 times the IQR, or any value greater than the third quartile plus 1.5 times the IQR. So you're going to want to copy those formulas down, and that is something you need to memorize. So what I have are two data sets, and we're going to go through and decide if there are any outliers in the data set. So first I have the data in the calculator. I'm going to need my first and third quartile for the boys. So just like we've been doing, my data is in L1, so I'm going to do a one variable statistic for L1. Okay, at this point I just need the first and third quartile. So you can see my first quartile is 18, my third quartile is 23. So Q3 is 23 and Q1 is 18. Okay, with this I'm also going to need my IQR. Remember, your IQR is the difference between the two. So in this case my IQR is 5. So anything less than 18 minus 1.5 times 5 would be an outlier. So I'm just going to figure out what that is. So anything less than 10.5 or anything greater than 23 plus 1.5 times 5. So again, I'll just put that on my calculator. So anything greater than 30.5. So I'm looking for anything less than this or greater than this. So I have my data in the list. I'm going to go ahead and sort it if you haven't already done so. So my data is in L1. That's my list for the boys. So I'm now going to go to the list. Let's see if there's anything less than 10.5. So nothing is less than 10.5. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, and then I'm going to scroll down. I need to see if anything's greater than 30.5. It looks like it went a little bit too quick. I'll move from the glare. There's a 29 and there's nothing after that. So for the boys, I'm going to write no outliers. Now be sure for something like this you do show the calculations. Now we're going to do the same thing for the girls. If you wanted to try this on your own, you could. Just, pause this and try it and then see if you're right. So I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm just going to do a one variable statistics for L2. So calculate. Changing this to L2 because that's where my data is. Change it to wherever your data is. And I'm going to scroll down. And again, I need my Q3 and my Q1. So Q3 is 25. Q1 is 20. So this one also has an IQR of 5. Because 25 minus 20 is 5. So I'm going to take anything less than 20 minus 1.5 times 5. So anything less than 12.5 in this case, or remember you have to do both, 25 plus 1.5 times 5. So anything greater than 32.5. So anything greater than this or less than this. So in this case, again, I need to sort my data. So stat. This time my data is in L2. I'm going to scroll through anything less than 12.5 or anything greater than 32.5. Okay, so right here I have 12. So 12 is less than 12.5. So 12 is an outlier. Okay, so I just wrote down 12 as an outlier. Now I'm just going to double check in my calculator and scroll to make sure there's nothing on the high end, and my highest number is 28. So for this one, because 12 is less than 12.5, 12 is an outlier. So for the girls, there is one outlier.